Hey, what's up, guys? Jacob back again with another talk during my commute. Road noise. Think it's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, I've got 2 episodes up of this show now. I'm not sure exactly how everyone has felt about it. I had some weirdness with the first episode. I had to actually pull it down off YouTube because YouTube did this weird thing where it was like where I tried to do an edit once the video was already up, and YouTube was like, I don't know, I'm gonna delete everything in the video except for the tiny edit you were trying to make. So what I was actually trying to delete ended up staying there, and the rest of the video got deleted. So and then some weirdness with iMovie and YouTube. iMovie, when I was trying to export the video, kept taking like a sentence from the middle of the video and putting it at the beginning of the video during the intro. It was weird because when I view the project before I'd export, everything would be great. But then when I would actually export the video, it would have just weird audio issues. So I'm not sure what the case was with that or why that was happening, but I changed that, or I've got it fixed at this point, so we shouldn't be having any more issues like that. I'm actually not using iMovie anymore. I've swapped to using Pinnacle Studio Pro. It's about $10 on the App Store. I think that will be better. It's got more features, a little bit better transitions, all that kind of stuff. There's not really any good background music, so what I've been doing is I'm a big fan of this guy. If you're a fan of IGN, you'll know him. His name is Damon Hatfield. He does some really cool stuff. His most recent thing is, I believe it is Black Cloud, volumes 1 and 2, and then I think he reproduced some of those and released a new like a full-length album, because it was 2 EPs, and then I think he put it together into one full-length album called just Black Cloud. And then but I've been using some of that music from that album, and then I've been using some music from the album Color Me. And it's pretty cool. I keep getting hit with copyright claims because it's not my music, but all that's going to happen at this point is the ad revenue will go to, I guess, the company who owns the copyright on this stuff, which is True Tone or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But I had to re-upload Road Noise episode 2 because of the weirdness with it, the audio issues. So that actually just went up again yesterday. But I finally dropped the, I guess, unboxing / quick review of the Lunatic Epic Aluminum. It is a pretty cool little watch case. Something I didn't really get to get into too much during the review because I didn't want it to end up at 10 minutes. But like I said, some things I did get to talk about were the fact that it is very hard to put on and take off, and it's very bulky, which is fine. I mean, you're already wearing a 42mm watch, and you're adding a aluminum case and a rubber band to it. You kind of just expect that it's gonna get a little bit bulky, but the digital crown, one of the problems with the digital crown is that while it's completely covered and it's very functional inside this case, the digital crown sticks out so far now that anytime you have any kind of wrist movement, especially if your wrist goes back closer to 90 degrees, you're going to hit that digital crown a lot and activate Siri, which is a little bit frustrating, because I know it happens a lot at my job. So I'll have activated Siri just like all the time. She's like, I don't understand what you want. Because I'm not talking to you, Siri. That, is kind of the reason you don't know what's going on, because I'm not talking. But anyway, like I said, Lunatic Epic's really cool. A little bit too bulky, hard to take on. Like just put on and take off. It looks really cool. I really like the combination of the aluminum and the leather. It doesn't look cheap. I think originally it was retailing for 150 bucks, but I got it on sale for about 80. I think now you can get it, I think the regular price is just 80. I think Lunatic has dropped the price on it, probably because not a lot of people bought Apple Watches. I'm sure even fewer people are buying $150 accessories for it, but I enjoy it a lot. I think if you have an Apple Watch and you want a nice case and a leather band, especially at $80, it's a cheap alternative to any of the Apple bands that are designed specifically by Apple for the Apple Watch, because I think their leather loop is like $150, and then their leather buckle is like $219, and that is just the band. And I've not ever bought one, but I've tried on the leather loop and the leather buckle watches at the store, and I just couldn't see myself dropping that much money for those bands. They're not that premium. But one thing I did say during my review that is actually incorrect is I said that Lunatic discontinued selling the bands separately. I double checked after I had said that, and it does appear like they were either just out of stock, or I was having trouble finding the page, because if you go to the Lunatic Epic page on Lunatic's website, there is a link to just the bands themselves, and those are actually on sale as well. So you can get a matching link band if you have the just the raw aluminum or the black aluminum model. You can get a black leather band. You can get you get the brown leather band like I already have. You can get and a polycarbonate band, and I think like 4 or 5 different colors. The polycarbonate band is only like 15 bucks, so if you really want to have something to swap off, or to swap, man, I can't talk today. If you want to have something to swap out, 15 bucks isn't bad. I didn't add one to the cart, so I'm not sure how much shipping and handling is going to be, but they're still there, so know that. You can get, extra bands for the Lunatic Epic if you so please. I may, over the next month or so, purchase the link band, I guess the black link band for this. I've wanted a link band for a while, but there is literally no way I'm dropping $450 for the one that Apple puts out. That's just not happening. That was more than the watch itself cost. So, because I got the sport model, I don't have the stainless steel model. I just can't justify a $400 band purchase, nor does it even sound like something I would want to do. You can buy a PlayStation VR with that money, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But anyway, enough about the Lunatic Epic and the Apple Watch. My girlfriend and I went and saw Keanu the other day. That movie was utterly ridiculous. I think it was a really good debut for Key and Peele. It was rated R, which I didn't know going into it. So there was there was more violence and swearing than I actually expected. Not that bothers me, but I was just like, oh, this is a little bit more adult than I expected. And it actually had a pretty good story. It was a pretty good action movie along with the buddy cop movie. Definitely a cool movie to go see, especially if you're a fan of Key and Peele. Unfortunately, I don't think it did that well in the box office over the weekend. I think it debuted like third, making under 10 million, which isn't super great, especially when Jungle Book is still like hitting. I think Jungle Book was number 1 in the box office, and it was around 42 million. So it didn't do great. I don't know what the budget was on that movie, so I'm not sure what they need to do for it to be considered a success. I hope it doesn't flop, because I'd like to see more from them. But anyway, it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed it. And then during my next off day, I think we were going to go see Civil War, because my girlfriend is a huge Marvel fan, and I enjoy don't think I'm as big a fan as she is when it comes to the Marvel stuff, but I can't deny that it is entertaining. I was more excited to go see Batman v Superman, and well, I'm not going to get in a ton of what I thought of that. She refused to go see it because she thought it was going to be terrible, and she was more or less correct. It was it wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be. It wasn't as bad, I should say, as I was expecting it to be, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. It was very just okay, especially because it got so in depth with all the lore when it comes to Batman and Superman and the Justice League and all that kind of stuff, and it's more than I really understood because I don't read the comics. I'm not going to pretend that I read all these Superman comics or anything like that because I don't. So I was lost throughout a lot of that. But anyway, she wouldn't go see it with me. I saw it by myself, and it was okay. I think Civil War will probably be a better film. Marvel, with the exception of the Dark Knight series, has been putting out way better movies than DC has for many years. I've been putting a lot more time into Ratchet and Clank. One thing that I didn't realize that because it's considered a 3D platformer, so I wasn't expecting that for there to be as little platforming as there actually is. It seems like there's a lot more shooting, which is fine because it's a very good third-person shooter. I'm surprised that there's so much shooting in it, and there's not so much platforming as I was really expecting. Not that I said that's a bad thing in any way. It's a very competent shooter. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I do have some complaints with some of the mission structure. Like, it is a little bit irritating when it's just like, go find this thing, go collect these for me, and then bring them back. So there was one mission where you were collecting these brains from this enemy, or I guess this monster called the Telepathopus, which I was like, alright, Insomniac, maybe a little bit, for a kid's game, maybe a little bit, it sounds maybe a little dirtier than I was expecting out of that, but it is Insomniac, and they are known for that kind of stuff, but it is still a children's game. Marketed towards children, I would say, not so much just for children. Adults can't play it, and I guess it's one of those things that they're like, that's funny. Anyway, the shooting's very competent. The platforming is not really there. I was expecting more platforming because in the beginning you're doing a lot of platforming. In the very beginning, you're doing a lot of platforming. In the training, I guess the Galactic Ranger training, it's all platforming. So I was expecting more platforming. The platforming that's there is very good, but there's just not a lot of it, which is kind of weird. And like I was saying, I really don't like the fetch quests. It seems like there's a lot of fetch quests. Like I was saying, there's a part where you're collecting brains for the scientist to continue on with the story. And he was like, alright, so collect 10 brains and I will give you this jetpack. And then because you're there at this planet for the jetpack, and you're like, nice. And then you collect the brains, gives you the jetpack, and he's like, oh man, I have some intel for you in this info bot. How about you collect 20 more brains and I'll give you that. And then you spend another 20 minutes going around killing enemies and collecting brains again once you've just finished doing that already. And that's happened once or twice in the game already. So I'm not a super big fan of the mission design there when it's got you doing all these fetch questy kind of things. Not a big fan of fetch quests, especially when they're just as blatant as they have been in Ratchet & Clank so far. Other than that, the game is beautiful. It's a lot of fun to play when you're not doing fetch quests. But I will say that I can, even though this is a remake and it's like completely redone the original game, I can definitely see the roots of this game being, 10 years old, 15 years old at this point. Because they didn't change everything. So they added some references to the original game, and that is the second time we've been doing this, and they make reference to that. This is the game based on the movie, based on the game, which is funny. But I don't know. it's still really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I'll probably finish it the next day or two. And then I really want to try and jump back into Dark Souls 3 because it's been about a week since I've played that at all. I kind of needed a little bit of break from it. I am excited to go back to it and finish it up, but I'm gonna finish up Ratchet & Clank I think first, and then get back into Dark Souls. When it comes to other game stuff, I'm super excited here in like a week that Uncharted 4 comes out. That's why I want to finish up Ratchet & Clank, see if I can go ahead and finish up Dark Souls 3, which probably won't happen because I'm really excited to jump into Uncharted 4. Especially after The Last of Us, I'm super excited to see what that Last of Us team has done with Uncharted. I know that their last Uncharted game was Uncharted 2, and then they did Last of Us, and a totally separate team did Uncharted 3. But I'm excited to see what the Uncharted 2 Last of Us team is going to do with Uncharted. I'm curious to see if it's going to be really dark, like The Last of Us was. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to go down that route. I mean, the trailers and everything, and the box art and the name of the game, A Thief's End, I really think indicate that it's going to be a little bit darker. I still hope it's that Indiana Jones pulp adventure, but I would like to see maybe a little bit of a darker story, which I think we're going to get with these guys. I don't want The Last of Us dark. I don't think that's what Uncharted is, but I still am excited to see what they're going to do with this game, especially with all the controversy that was going on with Amy Hennig leaving, and the other gentleman who I forget his name. It was like he left and then Amy left, and so the leads on the game was swapped so many times and it's been delayed so many times. It seems like this has been the most controversial and I guess difficult development for a Naughty Dog game in a while. And if there has been any kind of controversy or difficulties with any of the other games in the last 10 years, I don't really think it's got as much press as the stuff with Uncharted 4 has. Anyway, my Nashville Predators, they're kind of sucking again because that's what they do. They're inconsistent. Right now, they're down 2 games. They're losing the series, down 2-0, the best of 7 series. If they lose their game tonight, it is very unlikely that they would continue on because I don't really think it's happened. It's not happened. It's happened before, but it's not happened very many times that a team down 3-0 comes back and wins. I actually don't know if it's happened more than a handful of times. If they lose tonight, I think their season's pretty much over. Even if they win, if they lose tonight and they win the next game, it's so unlikely they're going to win 4 straight after being down 3-0. So if they can come in tonight, the series will be 2-1. Then they have a better chance of coming back and winning the series, or at least taking it to 7 games again. But hey, they were doing pretty good in Series 1. They've been playing really well, but the Sharks have just been outplaying them, I guess. Or maybe the first game they probably got outplayed in the 3rd period. The second game they just were unlucky. They were playing real hard. I think they were playing well enough that they could have won, but they didn't. So, but hopefully the Predators, they'll knock it out and they'll make it into the 3rd round. I would love to see them advance to the next round. They're a good team. I still don't know if they're Cup caliber. I think if they win the Cup this year, it's probably just luck, or is it just raw skill. But I really do think that they need to focus on getting more playmakers, getting high-end players in there. They've got a few good players, but then I don't know. It's complicated, I guess. I don't know the ins and outs of everything when it comes to the team, but I do think that they struggle being consistent. very inconsistent. What else do we have? I am still working on getting of using the iPad. I think here in the next week or so that I will have used it enough to render a verdict on whether or not I like it or not. So far, things are trending up. There's some things I don't like. There's some things that are just baffling to me. But other than that, I think it'll be a fairly positive review. Maybe not glowing, but positive. Then I am going to, like I said, I think I'm going to do a show where I review different kinds of beer. I think I'll probably start that. I think I'm going to probably have an episode up. Not tomorrow. I'll probably work on that tonight and tomorrow and have it up day after tomorrow. So today being the 2nd or 3rd of May, you can expect it probably on the 5th. So I don't know when this is going to go up, but there should be a video, a beer review show that I haven't come up with a name with, an episode of that up on the 5th. So anyway, that's pretty much everything I got for you guys today.